What's up, guys? I think I'm live. This is weird. I was trying to schedule a live ahead of time. Let me tweet out a link here. So this isn't going to be the idea Periscope video from Periscope and stick it on YouTube, and you still get the comments. So now I'm back into YouTube again. It's still not an ideal experience, but anyway, I hope you guys are having an awesome Thanksgiving. Someone on Periscope asked an interesting question. America's Guest. I don't know who they are on YouTube. I think it's America's Guest on Periscope. This may be their Twitter username too. That's a really interesting question about, it was of the nature of, how do you bubble up the best ideas from your employees when you're the sole decision maker? I mean, I understand really, I understand where they're getting at. I mean, I understand that especially, at High Rise, we're 7 people, I'm the CEO, like still being a small company, like everything really does kind of go up to me, right? I've got to be the one really making all the calls. I can, at a big company, you get to kind of, yes, like there's going to be a lot of operations that don't always keep raising up to the CEO. But here at a small company, a lot of the things do raise up to a CEO. So there's multiple aspects of this that I think kind of improve the management of something like this. One of the things is simply just, as a CEO, you need to learn to kind of talk less. You need to learn to kind of just keep shutting up. And it doesn't always feel natural. Like there's these discussions that we use Slack a lot to talk amongst the team. And we talk about features, and we talk about the future, and we talk about infrastructure. And often there's situations where like I want to say something because I have an opinion, or I want to say something because you know what, I think I know what we should be doing, but I don't say anything, and I just let the employees just talk, whether it's an idea that I don't agree with, or even if it is something I agree with. I'm not even in there plus wanting the thing. I just want them to talk, because that's it, right? I mean, when you get in there and you start making your opinion known, people start getting more quiet, right? When the boss is in there kind of making their, kind of shoving stuff around, like people start getting quiet about this stuff. So I try my best to just shut up more. I try my best to just kind of like let conversations go without my input. If this is often, nothing is ASAP, right? So it's like, these things that they're talking about aren't things that we're deciding that minute anyways. So I'm allowed to take their feedback, and I can stew on it myself and bring it to a discussion when we are making a decision on this. Maybe it's even in a couple weeks, but at least I let people kind of voice what they're thinking. So just that alone has been a big key to, like, I think I'm not, and I'm sure I can do a better job of this, but it's like that alone I think helps. Let your people talk and get out of their conversations. Just let them have conversations. And those ideas will start bubbling up more. I mean, I see conversations where people are bringing stuff up, and like, oh, that's interesting, and it may not have happened if I had been in there kind of letting them know what my thoughts were. I also, though, another aspect of this is I think people are too afraid of arguments and being argumentative, and I think arguments are actually very healthy. Two people having a debate about what should happen is actually very healthy. And there's people, though, that aren't good at this. And there's people that get really upset when there's ever kind of confrontation at work. And those people probably wouldn't work out very well here at High Rise. And like I see people that like, they want to, convey their opinion, and they don't want any kind of feedback that's like confrontational with that. And so I try to hire people who are very good at letting their opinion known, but then also being able to receive feedback without being hurt, without taking this as some sort of like personal affront to their career. I mean, that's not it. I mean, you can give us your opinion, but then you also kind of have to take in the feedback that there's other opinions out there too. So I try to hire for that. And when I see people, that's not the way that, that they want to kind of be the sole opinion in the room, that's not going to work out. So it's a personality that I think you have to kind of watch out for and surround yourself with. People who are okay with being in an argument and letting their opinion known and getting feedback back and kind of, giving and taking, not being just kind of a loudmouth and bully either, but being able to take back feedback and being able to kind of let their opinion known too. I'd say another thing that so yeah, that's been those are big ones for kind of making sure people are able to kind of bubble up feedback even when I'm the sole decision maker. I'd also say that another aspect of this is being good about giving people North Stars, not like just constantly dumping, like micromanaging and dumping all of the ideas onto people. Like, so like I noticed there was a conversation in a high-rise Slack room the other day that was like, hey guys, we need some ideas for short-term goals because we had a lot of long-term projects going on. What are some really good short-term things that we can work on? And I noticed the conversation started to get into some more long-term things, like, oh man, if we just had this, or what if we could work on this? But again, they started looking like longer term things. So it's like, I'm not going to go in there and say, you know what, I think we should be working on this. I think we should be working on this. Instead, I try to just let them know like the North Star, the priority. Like, guys, the priority is short-term projects in this conversation. And so that's another thing. Like, I don't want to go in there and just kind of, let them know my own thoughts on the direct ideas, but just to kind of give the feedback of like what that general direction is. So as a boss and a manager, I think we've got to get much better about shut up about your ideas. I mean, maybe your idea is still going to be the one that comes to fruition, but let people talk, let their ideas kind of simmer. But if they need it, get in there with some just general direction, the North Star, the reminder of what the priority is, but don't shut down the conversation. Anyway, those are some things that I think help us come up with some ideas. We're in some really interesting discussions now. Like, I can see the great ideas coming from Ryan. Specifically, really recently, we're working on some short-term stuff. Ryan, Allison, Chris, they were really good at like talking amongst each other, coming up with like really good ideas and how to create these short-term features that we're going to release soon, and the design of those things. And I got to kind of just like I provided a little like direction, like, hey guys, keep this on point of short-term stuff. But they came up with this stuff, and they did a really great job of designing this and coming up with this stuff without me having to kind of dump all my ideas in and shut down their conversation. So that's what works for us, and I think it's the right way to kind of think about this thing. Guys, I hope you are having an awesome Thanksgiving. I've had an awesome one, spending it with my family. I'm incredibly grateful for you guys spending even time watching this YouTube channel and asking me questions and being part of this. I love doing this, and it's a big part of my life. So I hope you had an awesome one if you're in the U.S. and celebrating Thanksgiving. And if you're from anywhere else, I am thankful for your attention, and I love being able to hang out with you. Have a great rest of your weekend and start to the holidays, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye, everybody.